Hey guys, it's me, Nalthazar, and I really quickly wanted to check in with you all and preview the upcoming weekend Coalition event. Now, I'm doing this before I make all of my videos for Achieving Perfection. I'm almost done putting all the decks together and getting ready to record them, but nonetheless, I thought that the earlier I got this one out, the more helpful it could be. So this coming weekend, we're going to be getting Hour of Devastation Bolas. So Hour of Devastation is a Legacy Coalition event. It's PvP, and I would actually argue that it has the singular most difficult node to accomplish in the entire game. So let's take a look. Now, typically, this event is going to require us to use one of three walkers. It's either going to require that we use Nicole Bolas, God Pharaoh, Elspeth, Sun's Champion, or Samut the Tested. This one is requiring that we use Nicole Bolas. Now, hopefully you have Bolas. If you don't, it's definitely worth getting him. He's one of the 5 best walkers in the game at the moment. I'm recording this video just before Throne of Eldraine comes out, so if things change in the future, it's possible, but Bolas, God Pharaoh, is one of the 5 best. Now, for your objectives on the Bolas node, you need to kill 3 or more enemy creatures during the fight, and you need to lose 3 or more creatures during the fight. Neither of those objectives are too difficult if you have a decent legacy collection, and it's made even easier by the fact that you're playing Bolas against Bolas. So Bolas's first is going to kill a creature, and so you're going to kill your opponent's creatures, and their Bolas is going to kill your creatures, and so you're going to be killing creatures and losing creatures as part of the fight anyways. So with Bolas, meeting those objectives isn't hard. You just need to make sure you win and don't get hit by any of the legacy looping shenanigans. So for that one, you're probably going to want to go with some like anti-loop types of things, but I'll go over that in just a second. Then on the left, this is where we get the most difficult objective in the game, at least in my opinion. If you disagree, let me know. And it's not the win the fight, obviously. It's not Protector, which is lose 3 or less creatures. It's Resilient. So take 10 or less damage during a single fight. Now, I feel like this one really should be changed. I usually don't disagree with most of the objectives just because they require some interesting deck building or they make a node more challenging, but this one really just makes the entire event a coin flip for whether or not you achieve perfection, because there's so many different things with either haste or spell damage or whatever that are just an instant more than 10 damage. So Inferno Jet, it's a rare spell, deals 12 damage to the face, boom, objective over. There are many other things like that, so I actually disagree with the Resilient being as it is. I really think that Resilient should be more like take 30 or less damage or something. So then we've got Node 3 on the right, and this one is going to have you cast 3 or more supports and 3 or less spells. Now, fortunately, there are a lot of very powerful supports in the game, and recently they've been printing a lot of creatures that are very good for control. So you can really easily go ahead and put together a creature and support control deck and take care of that node pretty easily. Just really only include like a spell or 2 in case you need it. Sorry for that sound. I had to unplug my charger. So some cards that I would look into. I'm making this video right now, by the way, just so that you guys can start considering how it is you want to look into building decks. And maybe you guys can give me some suggestions for decks that you've used that you like. Sorry for the bell. The cat heard me talking, so it decided, hey, I want to be a part of your video. I don't really want the cat to be a part of my video, but whatever, she can be here. So, yeah, if you have any suggestions for decks that have worked, of course. Oh, man. Thank you for the error loading it. So, okay, this you get to finally see for the first time how long it takes to load Puzzle Quest on my phone. But if you have decks that have worked for you, I'd love to see them. And you can go ahead and put them in the comments, or if you know me on Discord or in line, you can go ahead and send me a message. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and show the decks that I've put together yet. I'm actually just going to go ahead and show some of the cards that I would suggest. There we go. Well, okay. I would cut all that out, but I feel like that is just so integral to any Puzzle Quest player's experience that I might as well leave that in for the time being. All right, so what are some cards that you should be looking at for the 10 or less damage? So just things you should start trying to get over the week if you're able to narrow it down. Lich's Mastery is going to be great. It's going to give you prevent damage. You have to be careful with this one, more so than the other things that I'm going to show, because if it gets destroyed, you lose 30 life and your objective. And there's a lot of board wipe, there's a lot of removals, so this one is a much more risky one, but it's still really, really good. Now, this one hasn't been seen for too long, or recently, because just its legacy, it's a slightly older card, and it's Gideon's Intervention. So while this support is on the board, if your Planeswalker or any of your creatures would take damage, this support loses a shield instead. It has 2 shields. There are many ways to get multiple copies of it, or get it to bring itself back, or things like that. So this is a great option. And then apart from things like that, you're going to hate me for this one, I'm sure, and I'm sorry in advance. But if you have it, Platinum Angel is amazing for this node. So while this creature is on the battlefield, if your Planeswalker would take damage, it gets -1/-1 instead. So if you have Platinum Angel, it's a great time to use it. Those others, it's a great time to dust it off. Other suggestions, you want anti-haste things, right? So as you want anti-haste things, you're going to want spells that destroy at instant speed. So things like Bedevil can be really good. You charge it up, you disable it, and this will get rid of the bad hasties. You can also run something like Pause for Reflection. This is going to give you prevent damage. You just do it really as a prayer that you're not going to take damage or something for a turn if you're working toward a kill. You can also go ahead and run something like Murder. Murder is a great card. Most people should have it. Fiblethip gave us a full art version, so if you didn't have it before, hopefully you picked it up. But it's a great option for this. Ultimate Price is an option. I wouldn't really use it because you lose 2 life, but it's better to lose 2 life than the objective if this is all you have. Electrodominance is great, but this one I actually wouldn't rely on for Legacy just because things like Pig and Olivia exist, and Electrodominance will kill neither of those, and both of them will ruin your objective and your day. So those are things to look at for targeting to beat that particular objective. The other objectives are all largely pretty straightforward, so you don't need to worry about trying to look for specific cards to get them. But yeah, so go ahead, prep yourself for the event. If you don't have Bolas, go ahead and get him. Once again, you need Bolas, the God Pharaoh. So if you don't have him yet, go ahead, try and get him, and start brainstorming decks for the Bolas node, for the second node on the left, and the node on the right. And once again, if you've got any suggestions, go ahead, let me know what those suggestions are, and maybe I'll add them to the series. Good luck, happy crafting, and I'll see you in Achieving Perfection.